Hello, guys. If we examine fantasy, we find many interesting properties. First, fantasies are always concerned with the future. Children's daydreams almost always start with when I grow up. Interestingly enough, some adults still wish and dream as if they are not yet adults. In childhood fantasies, the striving for power manifests itself very clearly. This shows that the psyche develops only when a goal has been set. And the theme most common in goal setting is social recognition, because communal life constantly reinforces self evaluation. Weak children, to whom life is belligerent, are especially prone to developing their fantasy power. In that light, fantasy can become a shelter from the cruelty of life. For some, it even becomes the magic word in which they constantly live, rejecting reality altogether. One striking property of fantasies is that the striving for power is often applied to social ends, such as the fantasy of saving the school from an invader's attack. This reveals the ever present link between the individual and communal life. Now, some children claim to have no imagination. Adler rejects this claim. He explains that their so called inability often comes from either being unable to express themselves or from feeling superior by immersing themselves in the world of adults, refusing imagination which they deem childish. The capacity of the human organism for movement also obliges us to develop the function of foresight. The psyche is not capable of perceiving what exists in the here and now, but also the psyche is not only capable of perceiving what exists in the here and now, but also of predicting and sensing what will happen in the future. From this deeper faculty of foresight comes our aptitude for empathy and identification. In this sense, drama is nothing more than the artistic expression of empathy. A human can feel vividly and identify with circumstances that are not his own. To Adler, the capacity of each human being to influence others is rooted in the fact that the psyche develops according to the logic of communal life, where humans must influence one another in relationships such as teacher to student to make life possible. He also argues that the extent to which a person allows themselves to be influenced depends on how safe they feel in relation to the influencing entity. From this, Adler concludes that an effective education system is one that respects the rights of those it seeks to educate, and that such an approach will fail only with individuals who have consciously decided to withdraw from education. When children are exposed to an authority figure who is exceedingly aggressive, they do not always withdraw. Instead, their personality may be crushed into obedience. As a result, they lose the capacity to decide for themselves and can become prey to any authoritative figure, even if that authority urges them to commit illegal acts. Adler also notes that reasonable people, or those who rely on reason, are the most receptive to learning. Conversely, people with an insatiable thirst for power are very difficult to influence. In the last paragraphs of the fifth chapter of his book Understanding Human Nature, Adler examines hypnosis. Hypnosis, in essence, is about obeying the commands of the hypnotist for a few minutes. Adler distinguishes between two groups of subjects: those who show what he calls the willingness to submit and those who do not. This willingness to submit is the primary factor determining the success of hypnosis, and it is not about what the subject says or think they are willing to do. A person might deny their willingness to submit, yet their psychological attitude may show otherwise. What is most interesting about Adler's view on hypnosis is that he did not consider hypnotists to possess some mysterious power. Instead, he believed the success of stage hypnosis revealed a deeper social problem, the tendency of most people to follow and conform, the tendency to for blind submission and compliance. The power at play in hypnosis, according to Adler, is not the power of the hypnotist, but the weakness of the subjects in their readiness to submit. As Adler puts it, the public wants to be fooled. When you put all this together, Adler's point becomes clear. Our fantasies, our foresight, and even our ability to be influenced are not random traits. They are deeply tied to how we live with others. The danger is when these same traits, instead of helping us grow and connect, become tools for blind obedience or a retreat from reality. In the end, the question isn't whether we dream, imagine, or follow, it's whether we do this with awareness and choice, or whether we hand that choice over without even realizing it. That was the content of today's episode. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a great day. Bye bye.